now.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm back. Let's get ready to rumble.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
On Mufc Realist TV.
ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Fantastic. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to United Standish. Welcome to the panel. What a fantastic panel we've got. For those of you who haven't seen Nick before, she was a regular on our show previously, and she's got over her curry night. She's put it aside for us, and she's joined the panel tonight. She did change a curry for a kebab, which is much quicker to eat. So yeah, you know, let us know in the VAR room what you've had for your tea tonight, or if it's the middle of the morning, what you're gonna have for your breakfast. Whether you start with your morning coffee, iced coffee, hot coffee, cold coffee, whatever you've got, we're all on the show tonight. So let's start with you, Nick. How was your kebab?
It was bloody fantastic. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I would recommend a kebab on a Friday night.
Donny or shish?
Well, it was a veggie kebab tonight.
Oh, where's the delete button? Bin her off.
Don't bin me off. I want to just come back.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. This is fantastic. It's been so long. I'm sorry. It's been about a couple of weeks again since I've been able to get on a show. So much going on in life, but it's great to be back on this show. Missed the panel, Miss Jarvis, missed Mick. There you go. I said it, and obviously missed Nick too. So yeah, but obviously great to see so many of you in the chat already. I've put a bit of a question out if anybody's got anything that they want to discuss tonight. We've had some good ideas already. We've had people saying that the sale of the club, we know that's a hot topic at the moment, but that could take up 2 hours in itself. I mixed lots of different shows that already highlighting that, giving different details on it, giving you the latest. So check out the playlists. They'll all be in there, all the latest updates as well. Yeah, we'll be discussing the Onana deal. Anybody who thinks who your thoughts are for a new striker. We already know Jarvis's favourite, and I think it's looking like one of the big possibilities. A big smile on his face for Rasmus. Is Maguire, Martial, and Sancho going? And just for starters, you're talking about food again, Angie. Sorry, Angie's asking about a starters here. So she's just for starters, who is going to be going? And Neil also wants to discuss any players that are going out. So. Yeah, so over to you, Mick. Welcome to your show. Welcome to
It's not my show.
To United Standish. And how are you doing today, mate? How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. So good to be in the backseat. Just chill, relax, let somebody else opening, and good. I'm so excited to see. I mean, I missed you, Nick. So it's been a hot minute. It's been 2-3 months. I think when was the last time we did a stream, Nick? It's just before Christmas, wasn't it? New Year's.
I think it might have been just after Christmas, but yeah, it's been a long time. There's been a lot going on.
You're right, though. You had your surgery and everything, yeah.
Decorating, operations, all that nonsense.
Oh, God, she did a lot of renovation. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just passing on to Jarvis Cocker. How are you doing, mate, as well?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm splendid. The sun is shining. Everything is good. So many great news, exciting news. So I can't wait to dive into them and get started.
Excellent. I want to just start off as per tradition. Like, you know, this is not my show. I am just a host, like, you know, anyway. But, you know, I got to take my responsibility because what would be without our fantastic VR room? And Nick, you've probably seen a massive dramatic change because we have grown so much. And this community, right, is madness. We call them the VAR room, to be honest. So by tradition, we need to shout out everyone because there's been so many preloaded messages. I'm going to see who's in the house. Hang on a second. Wow. Listen, I have to scroll and scroll and scroll. Stephanie Griffith is in the house, one of our members
Good
and
evening,
moderators.
Stephanie.
Big up, Stephanie. Big up, Mick, Jarvis, Phil, Nic, plus 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉, 100%. Lisa Jensen from Denmark. Olsen is up here. Big up, evening all. Who else? Nigel Flynn is in the house. Hi, lads. I'm early. Yeah, you're early. So we're going to talk about everything. We have so much things. But because remember, you are the content today. Like, it's Friday chill. Hope you made your popcorn, whatever you're drinking. Raise your glass. I'm having a coffee.
Coffee in my Man United mug.
It's
Salty chill.
Yeah.
Salty Liverpool taste. They signed some unknown entity today. Some I can't remember what it was, but he was from RB Leipzig something.
Dominic Szoboszlai. I think his name is. I think that's how they pronounce it. He looks all right actually on transfer market. I've been looking at the statistics earlier.
Is he mustard?
He's only 22 years old. Attacking midfielder.
Yeah,
played 31 games last season. 6 goals and 8 assists.
Yeah.
So he's worth 70 million. You don't know.
100%.
I'm not. The name rings a bell, which always makes you go, "Okay, I've seen him play before."
Yeah,
He stuck
yeah.
out to me a little bit. So even
So
with
big
the name, so
Big up for Jurgen Klopp, pulled another hamstring there. Nigel Flynn is in the house. Angie's in the house. Jamie Wayne is in the house. Everyone is in the house. Everyone is excited. We're all tired about this takeover news. We're all tired about, guys, listen, big up to all of you. Ronak Joshi is in the house as well. God, there's so many of you. Jamie Wayne is in the house. One of our moderators said Qatar. There's a lot of things rumbling regarding Qatar. RJ is in the house.
Thought he'd fell asleep on his keyboard.
Yeah. From all the way from Swedish Rumble, Jonathan Liljenberg. Good afternoon, Jonathan. And who else? Jonathan Ball, our baller, our personal baller. Jonathan Ball, who he knows ball. We discovered that. Like in a private, we actually do have created a Telegram group chat or Realist TV group chat. Jonathan Ball, he knows his ball there. 100%. Mr. Perk is in the house as well. FFP is not real. No. What does FFP stand for? Free food. Free food for Pep. Free food for Pep. That's it. That's what FFP stands for. Yeah. Marlin Patel is well, guarantee you, Mick, they will not be punished for anything. No, they will not. Listen, we have a lot of things. Mohamza, Eid Mubarak, Habibi, Kif Hallak from all the way from Qatar as well. Alien Tenno is in the house as well. Our regular Tenno Alien. Big up to you, Alien, as well. I don't want to be rude. I want to say good day to all of you. Chris Breeze is in the house. Good evening, Chris. How you doing? What you're drinking today? A big glass of red, I can see. Is that your prefers? Is a Merlot, Shiraz? You let us know. Yale Marlin usually has a traditional Friday pepperoni pizza. G'day. Who else? Neil Driscoll.
Milos Mitic.
Milos. Where's Milos? 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒏, Milos. Okay. Cooper Andy's in a Pozdrav Miki Ivanović, Serbia. He says, good day from Serbia. Pozdrav Milos. Cooper Andy is in the house. God, so many of you. Let's kick on the show. Carlos as well. God, hi everyone. Hi Nick. He follows you on Twitter. Woo. Did you swipe left, right on Tinder as well? Huh?
Just don't dare to DM her because you'll be binned off. It's not a safe move.
And what are we without our thank you. Jay, thank you. Listen, did we miss anyone? Ayush, one of our earlier followers. Ayush, we missed you, man. Glory, Ayush. Let's kick on, guys. Let's kick on the show. What is the breaking point today? Oh, Ayush is saying breaking. Qatar is given 6 million in cash and Glazers are counting 6 billion by themselves. Yeah, true. Listen, guys, let's kick on the show, and I will pass the microphone over to Standish.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yeah, thank you for everyone joining in. It's great. So, yeah, I think one of the things I want to start with today is just talking about what the panel think about the Mason Mount deal. I know it's obviously the hot topic at the moment, so it seems a bit strange not to actually discuss it. And I know that Mick's already done some kind of breaking news when it actually first broke and that. Check it out on the playlist if you've not seen it already. But yeah, what do you think, Nick, that Mason will bring to the team? Who do you think he'll play in place of, and what do you think his best attributes are that you think he'll bring?
Oh, do you know? I don't know. I'm not overly impressed with him, I have to say. I think we've paid too much. I don't know how much we're paying him. Is it about 250k a week or something ridiculous like that? Or that might just be a Twitter talk. I don't know. I don't
Possibly,
follow.
isn't it?
Yeah, I don't. I generally try not to follow stuff until something's actually breaking and it's been confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's going to add to the squad, if I'm being honest. Again, I think we panic buy a lot of players. I don't necessarily think he's going to fit in with the team at all. But I like players. I've said it so many times. I like players that you've rarely heard of, that are doing bits perhaps in different leagues. I don't necessarily like getting the big names that are all the showboaters. So I'm not sure what I'm going to leave it up to Ten Hag to see which place he fits in the system, who he's going to.
That's very good of you. That's very good of you, Nick.
Well, you know, I've got to hand it to the manager. It's not me. If I was the manager, I probably wouldn't have bought him, because I don't necessarily think that, you know, he was top of the list. But clearly somebody knows what they're doing and they've got a plan for him. I hope. I'm saying that. I don't actually know they've got a plan for him. But yeah, I like to give players at least a year to kind of embed in and settle in, because you've kind of seen that with City and Jack Grealish. He was a flop to begin with, but he seems to have kind of cemented a place within the team. So there's obviously other stuff that happens. So I'm just going to wait and see, to be honest, is the short answer. I'm sorry if you wanted any gossip from me, but
No, not at all. I just want you know, your opinion. I mean, do you think he's worth the money, Jarvis?
Yeah, when it comes to Mount, I think everybody is very skeptical. I understand Nick when she says that anything is. We're not happy with this signing. It's not a big name signing that we wanted for 55-60 millions. But you know, I'm gonna take the other approach. I'm gonna say I'm happy because I think Ten Hag really wants him, and that's the most important. We need players that Ten Hag wants, and I am not sure. I think we spent last summer chasing Frenkie de Jong. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
So Ten Hag he choose another route, and now he are making Mason Mount the new Frenkie de Jong. That's my theory.
And Ayushkil saying Phil looks like a Robbie Savage with short hairs.
I love his money. I love his money.
Yeah.
And his cars and his house. Take all that.
And his wife still.
Well, I was thinking it's live this, and there's a lot of people, and if she ever decides to watch it back, it's game over. So she's a pretty lady, is all we shall say on that. Okay. We'll leave it there. But yeah, I think my own personal opinion on Mount, I actually I'm quite looking forward to it. Two main reasons. I know a lot of normally, like anybody who United get, the press are all over damning the player, saying, "Oh, what a big mistake! They got second best and stuff like that." They're not saying that. What they're saying this time is that he's got his first choice. And if Ten Hag's got his first choice, we'll never know. We'll never know. But the fact that it's happened officially before the transfer window is opened is breaking news in itself for Man United. Yeah. We've been caught out over the last few seasons so many times where we have been chasing a player and put all our eggs in one basket and just kind of made it clear to everybody that's the player we want, so that nobody else is interested in coming. What I wanted, what I said in a couple of shows ago, is I want someone who wants to play for the shirt, wants to play for Man United. And that, to me, is what Mount appeared to be wanting to do. There was no suggestions of him being interested with other clubs. Everything that's saying in the media was he wanted United from the off, and Ten Hag wanted him. And Ten Hag, no one's been disappointed with a single one of Ten Hag signings yet. No. So that is what I'm going off.
Just we have a very interesting question from Jarle here. Mount next to Bruno with Casemiro behind them, we're going to be really dangerous with those three players. With Onana as a sweeper keeper, we got our defense sorted. Now we can just need Juan Carlos Ramos or an attacker.
Yeah.
I think that is a spot on comment, Jarle. You know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Mount will play really well. I mean, I know we've not seen him that much for Chelsea this season. That's because there's so many players, they couldn't fit them all in the team.
Good evening, John Johnson.
So
Good evening.
Evening, John. You know, they've had so many players this season, and everyone was wondering what was going to happen after they spent all this money. And little did we know that they had a little side issue, a little side agreement with the Saudis, where they would just end the season, just give them all, get lots of money back, and actually get more than what they were worth for everybody. I'm not sure what's going to happen with 𝒖𝒄 𝒍 because he's apparently failed his medical for a knee issue or something. Yeah. So a bit sorry for the guy. You know, he's lost his way a little bit at Chelsea, which is a shame. You know, United were heavily linked to him at one point. But I think Mount, you know, he's only 24 years young. He's not reached his prime yet. You know, they say 27's your prime for football, sort of thing. Not for life, just to clarify, anybody who's watching. Just for, you know, for football, say 27, you're sort of hitting your peak, and he's got a good way to go yet. I think he's just signed at the right time. I think it's just as Ten Hag's, you know, going into his second season with his starting to build his philosophy. He's got rid of the deadwood and the issues that were in the club. You know, everyone said that the leaks last year was the likes of Ronaldo and Lingard and one or two others, possibly 𝒖𝒊𝒄 as well, as being linked as having all the leaks when the team news was coming out and causing the trouble in the change room. And I don't think there's any surprise that all them have gone. And already what the surprises that we have seen is we've seen some of the youngsters going out, and you're seeing it all over social media. 𝒖𝒄 and who else has gone today? 𝒖𝒊𝒄𝒌's gone today, which was a bit more of a shock, I think, to more people.
But there's a fire sale going on at the moment. Yeah, definitely. There is a plan.
He's gone to Birmingham tonight, hasn't he? So at the end of the day, as long as we're selling them we're not selling them for good money, but if we're selling them to give them a chance in life and giving them a chance to come back if they make it, then fair play, you know what? Because that's kind of been the philosophy of United all along. If you're not going to make it for United, we want you to make it at a club.
Standish. Everyone is. I don't look at, you know, I look at Manchester United, our team, but I can't help myself by speaking to some Blues fans, to some Chelsea fans, and they are furious at the moment. They are thinking, what the hell is this clown doing? They're selling off all the midfielders, Kante, Kovacic, who else? And they only have like what? Who did they bring in?
Enzo Fernandez.
And now they're going in for Caicedo. They don't have anything else. The Gallagher guy, the young kid.
Yeah.
So they're absolutely madness. They're furious. So, you know, me personally, I would agree what Chris Breeze is saying here. Like pretty much £55 million is cheap for Mason Mount, considering he's a, you know, he plays for an England international. He's a homegrown talent quota. He won the Champions League. And if you speak to every Chelsea fan, they all rave about him. His style of play off the ball and on the ball, he's a pivotal part of that midfield. And the thing is that most people are looking at what he did last season. But hang on a second. Last season, he had 3 different managers.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't favor him. Like, you know, Graham Potter came in, you know, he did like a Harry Potter. They did a magic wand, and all of a sudden he got like, you know, he won the lottery. He got 8 people, like, you know, and he tried to tinker to find the best, you know, what is my first 11? So he only found himself in the grey zone on the bench at the end of the day. So rest assured, when I spoke to a lot of Chelsea fans, even if you go and look at that Rory Jenkins, right, he's quite big on YouTube. He's crying his tears out. He's saying, do I wish him best of luck? No, he's a traitor. So that tells me when Chelsea fans are crying salty tears, we got ourselves a bargain, to be honest. Nick, what's your take on that? You're laughing.
Sorry. Is
that the kebab talking now? Or
No, it's not. It'll be me. It'll be the alcohol. No, I suppose in fairness, I think that we have got a bit of a bargain, considering we usually pay the United tax, and I would have expected, you know, double that probably for, like you say, an England international. We do normally overpay. So I suppose in that sense, when you put it into context, we probably have got a bit of a bargain. And actually, perhaps with Bruno as well and Casemiro, whoever said it is probably bang on. That's why I'm not a football coach or a manager, because I'm just looking at numbers. And again, I thought we'd overpaid just because of who he was, but actually I think we've probably underpaid because of who he is, because he's a because he's an England international. And quite frankly, if Chelsea are pissed off about it, then that's fantastic for me, and I'm well happy. So happy days.
Do you remember him playing in the Euros? He was almost one of the players of the tournament. He was absolutely fantastic.
He was.
That wasn't that long ago. That wasn't that long ago at all. And he's still young, and I think he's got every opportunity to make a big impact at United.
He looks good in the shirt, to be fair.
Well, I'll let you make that judgment.
He does. You know, you've got to hand it to him. He looks good. Any player that wants to play for the badge looks good in the shirt to me.
100%.
So,
100%.
By the way, I love your retro shirt.
Not retro, it's original.
Original.
Got this just after we won. So what's that?
Wicked.
Is that classed as retro these days? I don't know. I'm too old.
Yeah, probably is.
The old Sharp. It's my favorite. The Sharp sponsorship.
Sharp was my favorite. Full stop.
Jarvis, can I ask you a question then? You've been sitting there silent, right? Mason Mount. I mean, I'm just saying he's a bargain, and barring that, a lot of Chelsea. There's a lot of Chelsea tears going on right now. So 12 months left on his contract. He put his foot down. He said he wanted to go. He's been, Mauricio Pochettino came in and tried to sort of convince them, but the gap has already been, I mean, that horse bolted already, the way they treated him. Now we're treating David De Gea in the same way, in a way that we're kind of forcing David De Gea out. Like, what's your thoughts and opinions? I mean, the thing is, what I'm trying to say, that Manchester United fans on Twitter, they all want the exciting, shiny toy, right? Mason Mount is not that exciting, but what he offers, he's a system player, right?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts and feelings? How do you think he will impact the team?
Yeah, the thing with Mount, he has other attributes than we see. We see his goals, we see his free kick, his set pieces. But I think he has so much more to offer, especially when he can be a little bit deeper as a playmaker. I would see him replacing Eriksen at the moment. He can drop down and receive the pass from Martinez and turn and progress the ball forward. We have lacked that this season because of Eriksen. He could do that, but he is not mobile enough, in my opinion. So it will be very exciting to see Mount and to see if Ten Hag can implement him in the right way in this team. I have very big expectations for him, and the thing is, he's versatile. He can play in the 8. He can fill in for Bruno. He can play on the wing. So I think he's a good squad player to have also, and he's never injured, and he most of the time perform at a high consistent level. So for us, I think it's a brilliant signing. We need more signings like him, to be honest, before we start bringing in like the superstars. We need a foundation, and Mount is part of that foundation.
100% agree. Nick, similar question, because if you look at British media, they've been questioning about Sheikh Yassin's identity. So we have a guy here asking Gas Elliott, like, is that really you? Is that really She-Devil Nick?
It is,
in flesh.
It is. It's me.
Wicked.
Mean you don't recognise me? My God. Shocking.
Shocking. 100% agree. I mean, Mount. Listen, Liverpool, they can banter us for 7-Up, but now we have a Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Oh dear!
That one, I'm taking it and I'm running with it.
You're running with it, all right.
I'm running with it.
Cool. I'm just going to switch layout. This is much more comfortable, guys. Smash a like for Mountain Dew. Smash a like for Nick. It's been a hot minute. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy that you're alive and kicking. Phil, also, always a pleasure to have you on. It's so difficult to catch you two guys, right? Me and Jarvis, we've been slaving here in the kitchen, cooking.
You've been holding the fort. That's what it is.
Well, you're having curry nights and kebabs. We're living on scrums here.
Well, I eat like the queen.
So, listen, we have very much lovely people in the house. Duncan is back. Hello, Duncan. Hello. Let's see, Cooper, Andy, and
I just want to throw a comment up there. 1 minute, sorry. Oh, go on, you go with that, yeah?
Yeah. Babatosh is just joined also. I saw you. Babatosh, welcome, sir. You also joined the Telegram. I also welcome you in the Telegram, chat as well. So guys, if you want to join the Telegram chat, this fantastic chat room, amazing community, welcome. Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Luke Shaw, Martinez, and Carlos Baleba. No one will attack from the left side. Yeah, true that. Right. Phil Standish.
Yeah, I want to just so this comment that Yala's made, I think it's a good point, because one of the things that always puts someone on the back foot straight away is a high price tag. The fact that we have got Mount for 50 to 55 million, whatever it is, it takes that pressure off a little bit. He's, especially when Liverpool are going out and bought this Szoboszlai, whatever it is tonight, for 70 million or thereabouts. So straight away, they're the one who's going to, I think, having to justify the price tag, because somebody's already superseded us in terms of the cost. And I think that's a good thing. It goes in line with what Jarvis was saying about, or yourself about this, Mick, about the shiny toy. We don't want just shiny toys. We want people who are going to be able to fit into the system for Ten Hag. And yeah, a shiny toy would be nice for owners, but I think when the new owners finally get in, it'll be them who wants to bring the shiny new toy with them.
Yeah.
And if there is going to be a monster signing, it'll be them. It'll be only when they're in the club. I think that's just my opinion, because
the proof will be in the pudding. The proof will be in the pudding. But he's definitely an upgrade on, McFred. Definitely an upgrade on Eriksen. I mean, Eriksen
is a different style of player, isn't he? Different style of player.
He is. He will help you on the press. He will definitely, like Stephanie Griffin, Mount might push Bruno to be more consistent, 100%. And Eriksen will be utilized in certain games, but not in games where you need an engine, right? Eriksen, great balls, great technical abilities, but not enough
personal,
engine.
Mick.
Oh, no, not personal. No, those balls. You know what I mean? Great balls. Oh my God, great balls on fire.
You mean, Mick? Come on.
No,
I'm sure this.
Took me a while then.
Yeah. RG is also saying something that we don't speak much about is the youth. Kobe Mainoo as well is in the squad. So it's going to be exciting preseason. But
preseason. When's the first game? Is it about the 17th of July, something like that?
Something. Yeah.
Under 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'd be great if we can get a name through the door and Mount, because the rumor is that the medical's set for Monday for Mount, something like that. Obviously, there's no immediate rush. The deal sounds like it's almost done.
Yeah.
And Anana.
Just want to give
it. Go on,
yeah,
mate.
just when I see a new person coming in, Chini Kojak was there as well. Big up to you. Tank is in the house as well. 12th July leads. So Ichi was saying here, basically, my main concern is with Bruno and Mount. We will struggle to control games against the better sides, especially away from home. But Ichi, depends on who the second midfielder would be. Guys, let's talk about the second midfielder, because we've been speaking about Mason Mount for 27 minutes, to be honest. It's time to move on. Done and dusted, medical pending, right? I'm sure it's not going to be a problem. But if we're going to talk about this, surely cannot be the second, the one and only midfielder Ten Hag is signing. But we're not going to go for Caicedo, obviously. So who do you think the second midfielder will be? Woo-hoo.
Why do you not think it'll be Caicedo? Because Chelsea's going in for 80 million.
Unless we are screwing Chelsea over. You never know. Unless we say, okay, Will.
Yeah, Mick, I'll ask you, because if you don't mind, because you had the inside sort of scoop on this last year. So Frankie de Jong's been mentioned in the press again this week about they need to sell a player sort of thing. I know that you're a massive fan of him and really hope that he does make the move. Do you think, but then we've seen Barca president coming out today saying some players should never have been up for sale. We've got offered 100 million for Frankie last year, and some players shouldn't be even classed as being up for sale. Is that just kind of is that kind of sowing the seeds before something happens, or is it? Do you think?
Well, we've seen that before. Like it's not for sale, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Same with Romelu Lukaku, is not for sale. But then at the end of the day, they sell the children, right? Me personally, I'm just happy for the player. Like, he's a fantastic player. Like, if he comes to Manchester United, I don't really care. As long as he doesn't go to the City or something like that, a rivalry club, then I'm good. But clear and obvious, they are in financial mess. They try to force him out. They paid off half of his wages already, deferred wages. So there's rumbles coming down from Spain either, then they need to offload a lot of players. They are in trouble.
Yeah,
they are in trouble. So I would just wait and see. No, but at the end of the day, guys, don't remember that Erik ten Hag built his own recruitment strategy around Frankie de Jong last season, right? That's all I'm thinking about. I'm thinking what the gaffer wants, right? At the end of the day, if he's changed his mind on play, I don't think so. If we are not linked to any other midfielder, then surely he has to have Frankie de Jong in the back pocket lying around from next season. Okay, I didn't get you this season. It was close. But there was some legal issues with deferred wages. So maybe this season, I don't know, this time around, I don't know. It's going to be a surprise. But then I'm thinking, well, hang on a second. If we get bought up by Sheikh Yassim 92 Holding Foundation, we will no longer be a New York listed company. We will be a private club, like a Barcelona. That means that you can go out and buy out the contract like they did with what PSG did with Neymar, for instance. You can go to La Liga, lodge an application, buy out this contract, whatever that shady shit what they're doing, and off you go. Because they clearly want 75 plus 5 add-ons. So if you're going to pay 80 million for Caicedo, why not pay 80 million for Frankie de Jong that's proven already under Erik ten Hag?
Yeah.
So if you ask me, in my opinion, who do I want, Caicedo or Frankie de Jong? 100% Frankie de Jong. 100%. He's a ball carrier.
Caicedo's proven in the Premier League as a bit of a tough combative
half a season, though. Half a season, though, mate.
Style, though, he's tough, combative. He breaks up the play. We saw what he did against United. He was
from a value. Fantastic. No, I got a problem with this, right? I do rate Caicedo, and everyone is raving about Caicedo. Half a season doesn't. What do you say? One summer doesn't make a summer. One swallow doesn't make a summer. You know that saying. Yeah. So how can you go from being bought by £7 million to then ask a valuation about 80 plus million all of a sudden? That's a huge gap, right? That's a huge gap. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to pay 80 million, you go and buy a Frankie de Jong in that case. That's proven. That's, Ten Hag is his father. You know what I mean? Not literally his father. He didn't make him, but, come home to Papa. Yeah. So that's my honest thought and feeling. But what's going on in the midfield, nobody really knows from now. Now the international market opened tomorrow, so it's going to be very, very interesting. I go to Nick. What do you think, Nick, by the way?
About what? Which one?
The next
Frankie, next midfielder.
Second midfielder.
I personally, I want somebody who Ten Hag wants. So if he wants Frankie, and it was clear last season, really, that he wanted him. So... I totally get your point, Phil, about being Premier League proven. I do think that it is a very different league. However, Ten Hag, the way Ten Hag wants to play, we've seen that with some of the players that we've got now. Even though the Premier League proven, they don't fit into Ten Hag's system. So actually, maybe the most important thing is somebody who fits into his system, who can kind of learn that pace. I mean, you look at Haaland going to City. I mean, he could have easily flopped in the Premier League because of the pace of it, but actually he didn't. So
no,
I'd be prepared to say that Frankie would actually do all right in the Premier League.
I think it'd be good. I mean, when you look at the likes of Donny van der Beek, obviously we know he's had a really, really rough ride since he joined United. He's had a bit of a manager change situation going on, and obviously he had a big injury which took him out for the whole season. When there was chances with Casemiro with his red cards and things like that, and you thought it was perfect for him to come in and take his opportunity. 3-4 games he would have probably slotted in and done us wonders. What do you think, Jarvis? Do you think Donny's finished? Do you think we've already got the midfielders that we're looking for?
I don't know if we even can sell Donny. Who want to buy him? He's always injured, and he's a very strange player. He would fit Ajax.
I know one. Me. Todd Bowley.
Yeah, give him to Todd Bowley. No, but I don't know about Donny. It's a sad story. He has been under several managers. He never fitted in, and when he got the chance, he got injured. So, it's just one of those. It didn't work out. Let's try to sell him. Maybe Spain or back to the Netherlands league. But when it comes to the second midfielder, Mick said he wanted Frankie de Jong. For me, I think we should go for a more defensive midfielder as the second. We need a Casemiro backup in my mind. So when we go away against the better teams, we need to be more resilient. So I would like us to sign for example, Palhinha from Fulham as the second signing. So we have
he's a very good player.
Is it for sale though? Is it for sale? I mean, either that or you go for a 1 year left contract. Sofian Amrabat, like, you know what I mean?
Amrabat was brilliant, wasn't he?
Brilliant. There's 1 year left in his contract. On Transfermarkt, he's worth about 30 million euros. Anyway.
Where do you think the money needs to be spent then? You know, I asked this to anybody who wants to answer. Where do you think? Because we've obviously, you know, I mean, let's first of all, let's talk about De Gea. So we've got probably about an hour and a half before De Gea. Sorry, let's talk about Mr. Wonder 𝑴𝒐 bringing Garnacho on with 10 minutes to go in final. He makes a lot of mistakes. Does 𝑴𝒐 all season with subs? I don't think he's made a lot of mistakes with subs. I think for my own opinion, I think there was moments in the season when you're thinking the likes of we needed a goal. Pellistri was sat on the bench, and there was a couple of others, and you're thinking, bring them on. I can't remember which game it was. I think it was the final, and Rashford was looking absolute wrecked. He was hobbling along. Pellistri was sat there, thinking, just bring him on. So I do agree, Ellie and Takeover. There was definitely times when you were screaming at the screen, shouting, "Come on, just bring this, give this player a chance," you know. And Garnacho and stuff. We know that there was rumours of some little issue off the pitch with Garnacho, a little bit of a learning curve, of time to grow up, sort of thing. And then he fully backed him when he signed his new contract and publicly made that big declaration and took his family on board and made that little short interview and stuff. So he knows how to look after the kids. And when I say the kids, I mean everybody in his squad. He seems to have a good understanding. He knows that not everybody's the same. He treats them differently, but he treats them in the similar, you know, in terms of like when he said about Ronaldo walking off and leaving the pitch. It wasn't just Ronaldo who left, it was the others, and he took an opportunity to say, Ronaldo left, but so did everybody else with him. So they're all as bad as each other, and they better sort themselves out. So I think he's a good manager. I think he's going to learn a lot, and I think I think at the end he was just trying to literally limping to the end of the season.
He was.
With the players that we had,
everything was shattered. Like, you know, his plans were shattered. He was planning to use Donny van de Beek as a rotational squad player towards Bruno Fernandes. Then he got scissor tackled and almost broke his knee. Right. I feel sorry for Donny van de Beek because he had a bad luck in the Premier League. To be honest, he's such a player. Do I see him come back? Maybe. I don't know. He's apparently on that chopping block list on the fire sale of 13. If he goes back to Ajax, recuperate his career, I'm happy for Donny, to be honest, right? He never was proven. He never was given a chance under Ollie. He had a brilliant start with Everton, and then he got injured again. And God, I feel so sorry for the kid, right? And somebody was saying that Palhinha is 90 million fee. So that's a lot of money.
Box said it.
Yeah, Box, yeah.
90 million. Mick, I just want to go back to Phil's point about Garnacho and Erik ten Hag. I think it's right of Erik ten Hag to. I think, to be honest, Garnacho is the kind of player who needs to be protected against himself because his confidence is so high, and you know he just wants to be straight on the top of like a Ronaldo right at the moment. You know, he has the confidence to do that. But you know, we got to protect him from himself and like hold him a little bit back so he get the time to develop, or he will crash. That's my opinion. So I think ten Hag is actually doing a brilliant man management job with Garnacho.
Yeah, but there was even suggestion in the paper, like, you know, that, you know, they're planning to give him the number 7 shirt, and I think it's too early. Nick, what's your thoughts and feeling regarding that?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's too early. I think that he could absolutely have the number 7 shirt. I think to give it him now, just what Jarvis was saying, is he needs protecting from himself, and that's that's the type of manager that I think Ten Hag is. He's firm but fair, so he'll give the young an opportunity, but if he sees it go into the head, he'll rein them back in. Very much like Fergie used to do with the class of 92. He was able to rein them back in. And I think Garnacho needs that, because he's a fantastic player. I love to see him on the pitch, but there's a little bit of arrogance, and I'm not saying arrogance is bad. I do think
the old United swagger is in the boy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But I think that he's a bit too young to be catapulted, and he needs to be protected, not just for his ability, but actually his mental health as well. I think that needs to be taken account, because he could quite easily, and some of the United fans on Twitter will quite easily slate players when they're all of a sudden not performing. Yeah. And actually, when you've got them that young and they've got that much talent, it's really dangerous to catapult them into that kind of arena straight away. So I do think that he can have the number 7, and I think he will get the number 7, but not quite now. I think he needs a couple more seasons really to kind of cement in. But I'd be happy with him having the number 7, but it's just too soon for me.
Yeah, we have Tom, journalist, our own internal journalist in the house as well. Good evening, Tom. Footy Live, how are you? Obviously, we got to transition over to Onana, because this is almost getting ridiculously hot. Like, reports according also for, you got, we've seen that De Gea is probably like he's going to be a free agent any minute now, right? Ten Hag wants Onana. Onana wants Manchester United. Inter wants to sell, because if they sell, it's a pure profit of 55 million, to be honest, because he walked away on free from Ajax, right? He's such an integral part in what Erik ten Hag wants to play. Like, if you have a ball-carrying sweeper keeper like Onana in the back, with that solidified that back line, that means that everyone can start pushing up higher. The fullbacks can actually be in attacking fullbacks. You know what I mean? Before we couldn't do that. Like, De Gea didn't ever come out of his lines. He was very bad to command in his box. But Footy Life, Tom, big up to you. They had, apparently they're sitting down in Ibiza. God knows what they're doing in Ibiza. Woo! But apparently, like, there is a deal to be made. Even Demacia was saying, coming out, that is expected a bid tonight, expected to be the first and final offer bid, as what you said, 55 million package deal, 45 plus 5. I mean, maybe it's a 50-55 with add-ons. I don't know. Let us know, Tom, what you heard, if there's any latest updates. So big up to you, Tom, journalist as well. Big up.
What I did hear on the Onana one, sorry, mate. What I did hear a short while ago was that the Inter presidents come out and said something along the lines of there is solid interest from Man United, but there hasn't yet been an offer made. But it says something along the lines of, but once it is made, a decision will be made very soon. So it's almost like everything's done. They're just waiting for the official paperwork to go through. So that's why I think it will happen very quickly.
Hang on. I'm just catching up with all the VR. And big up all of you. Smash a like if you haven't. There is, how many are you? There's 200 of you in the chat room at the moment. Keeping it real. So very interesting. In terms of, that will probably be our next signing, right? That will most logically be our next signing. That's what we're closest to. But we need to sort of move on from that as well.
Yeah, a few people have been asking about. Sorry, you've got a topic you want to move on to?
Yeah, no, it's your show. But we got to talk about striker. We got to talk about next midfielder, Kim Min-jae, the likelihood. He's in Korea at the moment with his army services. So whatever Fabrizio Romano is saying, that personal terms is agreed. Yes, you can agree multiple personal terms with multiple clubs, and it's just about, the clause is opening. I think his release clause is opening tomorrow for 2 weeks. So we don't know if Manchester United had 99 likes, 99 Luftballons. You know what I mean? 99 Luftballons. Yeah. So all I'm saying is that, money is available as of today, according to the financial reports. We have about 250 million pounds to spend today, right now, as we speak, 30th.
I'll take it. I'll sign. I'm the new midfielder.
How many kebabs can you get from that?
Oh, I'd be sorted for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'd probably be dead in a year, but you know.
Yeah. Tom says here, Football Live saying Onana deal will be included with add-ons over 2 years, with Inter expecting a 45 million initial payment straight up, regardless of payment structure. It's not going to be like Tom. It's not going to be like 45 million straight up into the account, right? It's going to be split up in 2 years, or because you can structure the deal. Like if it says it's a 4-year contract, you can pay the 45 million in installments, right? But you can still register on your in your books as a, you know what, I got money coming in.
Yeah.
It's yet to be. It's interesting, but that excites me, because never did we think that a goalkeeper would be a priority, but obviously it is. Ten Hag wants it, so that leaves us to Kim Min-jae. Will he come? Will he not come? I don't see like Christian Falk tweeting much about it. It was more Fabrizio Romano to say, "Hey, breaking news, exclusive." Hey, but you know,
Falk did make a comment though about it, and either Fabrizio retweeted it or
yeah, it was something in line with it. There's
retweeted one of
interest.
Fabrizio's, didn't they? So there was definitely and about Kane as well, Harry Kane, because I
And
know
Harry
that
Kane as well.
we've been heavily linked to Harry Kane. So yeah, I mean we're talking about different striker options. Osimhen, I think they've just been a bit stupid and got a bit excited when they saw Brief throwing the money around and thought, we'll stick 170 million price. Was it 170 million price
now.
tag? 180. It's going up
It's
by the
gone from
day.
100 to 180. Like,
It's gone a bit stupid. Either they're basically saying they're going to do a Grealish on him, where they say, you know, if you sign your new contract, then we'll put a lower release clause in or something, but you stay with us for another year or something like that. You don't know, but it just seems that they obviously want to keep him more than sell him. So you know, we will heavily linked to the likes of obviously Osimhen, Kane, Rasmus Højlund, Gonzalo Ramos.
yeah.
Who's your preference for those, Jarvis? I know that you like Højlund, but you know, as a starting striker.
With the striker, you know, it's for me, it's Højlund. He's very good, and I like Kolomoani. Those two are the ones I would like us to sign. I think we need to prioritize in the right order for this summer window. We don't know who are we going to sell first, or are we going to sell anyone? For example, Maguire, Henderson, McTominay, Fred, Martial. Are they going? Will we get cash in so we have more to spend? So what's the priority for Ten Hag? We all know we need a striker and we need a goalkeeper. Regarding the center back in that order, for me, a center back is down on the list. If we could get Kim for 50, 55 or what his release clause is, that will be a great deal. But when we have to prioritize, I think maybe we will go for a cheaper option when it comes to center back. I think, for example, Robert Koch at Leeds is the German guy. He's up for free this summer, and we can get him for nothing. And he will come in. He's a Premier League experience. He's good aerial ability, so he would be like a nice 4th or 5th choice center back just to fill in the squad depth.
I see what Footy Live is saying, what journalist Tom is saying. Basically, Inter is desperate for cash. That's the thing, right? So that's why they're asking for 45. But you're in a bargain position to say, look, I ain't going to give you 45 million straight out. Like, you know, we can split it up in two. So that's negotiable, I think. But, you know, something interesting, because I cannot mention names and agents and stuff like that, but something that really whispered in my ears as well, which is something very interesting. When you speak about the fluidity of the transfer market and how deals are connected to each other, you know, that Declan Rice deal, which is 105 million, which Arsenal is going to pay for to West Ham. Guess what that money is going to be used by West Ham?
Maguire.
Yeah, I told you this before. Yeah. They're going to use it for Maguire, because he really wants Maguire to be part of West Ham team, which makes sense, you know, the way he's playing. So they have actually prioritized to utilize that money that they're getting for Rice to invest in a Harry Maguire and another midfielder. Maybe we get a double, like Scott McTominay as well.
Slanderous.
David Moyes. Thank you, David. Take our dead woods. Thank you. Now, just an interesting fact, though, because at the end of the day, people are saying, why are we not selling anything as of yet? Well, they are working, right? You have 13 players that are being listed to find clubs, and everyone, all the intermediates and agents are working super hard, speaking to clubs, like to generate interest. And obviously, like, you know, yeah, you can look at that list to say, well, why are we selling Maguire for 45? Because at the end of the day, these are purchases that was under the Glazers. Do you understand? It was the purchases under Woodward. The new ownership don't really care because they're going to pay off the debt anyway. So they're going to just get rid of them, start fresh, new piece of canvas, new turn the page, you know, feed Ten Hag with new players, right? And that's why you're seeing this fire sale. Glazers will never approve this. Never in a million years have you ever seen this 13 players under the Glazers to be sold, right?
Yeah,
just think about
it. You hardly see anybody going. You know, they just, because they know that if they sell players, they're going to bring more in, but it'll probably cost them more money out of their pockets. So they were never interested in that whatsoever. As long as they were selling shirts and making the money, they just didn't care whatsoever. I think one thing I want to just ask kind of the panel's opinion on the VAR room. Let us know what you think. One of my thoughts is, obviously we talked a lot about replacing striker or getting a new starting striker. So to me, if you do that, you then put Rashford on the left. Anthony, should everything off the pitch get sorted out beforehand, and if he gets proved to be innocent, he stays. He seems to be the starting right winger. So everyone's saying start Garnacho. So where does Garnacho play? You know, you've got Garnacho who plays best on the left. We've proved that. Rashford plays best on the left, and we're talking about spending a lot of money on a striker. So where does everybody fit in? Who's just starting front four?
It depends on who we're getting. Like if we're getting put it to Nick. I think.
Well, you've got to think of it as in the depth of our squad. We don't have to have all the players that we've got being those starting 11. So Rashford could start on the left and actually give Garnacho the chance to come in maybe with 30 minutes to go, because Rashford does show signs of being slightly weary, but actually Rashford can move into the centre. I want to prioritise a striker. I think that we need a striker, but I also think that we've got players within our squad at the moment that can interchange quite a bit. I think we're going to struggle a bit with Anthony if all those charges and other stuff comes to fruition. I also read something about Ten Hag reluctant to get rid of, I'll just say the G word. Yeah. So you've got to think about the players that we've already got and who is that striker that's going to come in and make the squad better. Do we have an out-and-out striker, or do we have somebody that can play a bit further back? And a bit like a Harry Kane is an out-and-out striker, but he comes so far back into that midfield and creates play within that. Do we need more of that kind of player than just a goal poacher? Yeah. So again, I think it depends what Ten Hag's plan is.
I think Ten Hag's plans, I mean, just reading box here, Mason Greenwood, Mason Mount, plus another Mason, calling 3 Masons. Ha 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 ha. Listen, at the end of the day, we need to talk about it, right? The number 11, it's become a little bit of taboo to talk about it. At the end of the day, I think Ten Hag has him in his plans, because he's contractually speaking a Manchester United player. He's the best finisher that's in the squad at the moment. Of course, he hasn't played the ball for 12 months, but I'm not the one to judge. You know, I want the club to come up with a statement. I want him and his girlfriend, whatever fiance, they're having a baby, to come out and speak to the public, but not through Piers Morgan, of course not. You know what I mean? No. It's not going to be a Piers Morgan scoop. So, and happy days, you know, to loan him out. And if he goes out on a loan and it doesn't madness, or we sell him, the fan base is going to moan anyway. Oh, why did we get rid of Mason? You know what I mean? So just keep it calm, composed, because right now there's a lot of things brewing at the moment with the takeover, just at the right time, at the right moment. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Do you really think that the fan base is going to moan if we get rid of Greenwood? Do you really think that?
No, they're not. But at the same time, I've seen this fan base on Twitter for so many years, right?
Well, yeah,
they're selling you. Last year they were slagging Rashford, and the same fans were now waxing his lyricals. You know how it is. Like they're so quick to throw players under the bus, right? I'm not used to it. You know what I mean? This is not the Manchester United. I'm always saying support the team for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I see where you're coming from. My issue is that there's such serious charges, and I get that the charges have been dropped. I know that he's now with his girlfriend, fiance, and they're having a baby together, and you know, what was the recording? Was it a setup? Was it a sex game? All that stuff. But
it needs to come out. That's what I'm saying.
You have to be really, really careful because United have got a lot of female followers, and I think you're alienating almost and accepting that happened, but because it didn't go through the courts, that it's okay with it. I'm not saying any's right. I'm just saying that there's
I'm going to speak from
tentative steps.
I'm going to speak from a HR perspective, as me work as a global HR director for many years and people in culture. When you come out and do an internal investigation, then you look into everything that's kind of related to, will it be a damage towards our brand, our company? And that's what they're doing, like, you know. So they might have done the internal investigation to say, well, you didn't harass anyone, but that's harassment within the company. You know what I mean? But if you're going to break that contract, that's a breach of employment contract, you know, because people forget that players are actually employees. They are,
but there is also you're bringing the company into disrepute. And I know that I work, if we did something that directly impacted the brand or the company and got people asking questions, I would be in breach of my contract because I brought the company into disrepute. So I get what you're saying completely, and I do think that we don't know the ins and outs of it, but I do think that we need to be really careful because Twitter is only one portion of the fan base. We've got a global fan base, and I just think that you have to be really
split,
careful.
and that's what I'm saying. You know, at the end of the day, I don't judge the person because I don't know the story. That's the thing. I don't know if the evidence has been recorded, it's been hijacked, tampered with. I don't know, but there's a reason why you're being cleared. And
well, it wasn't cleared. They dropped the charges because
then
if you've not got a complaining witness, and that person then comes forward and says, no, I don't want to. You know, I don't want to press charges.
I don't know. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to allude to is, well, like, you know, there's been far more players that done far more serious things since they're playing football as well. As soon as the player comes in and scores, bags a couple of goals, everyone's going to forget everything.
Yeah, I do.
That's a fan base, That's a fan base, unfortunately. I don't know. But what I wanted to say, like, you know, I'm going what Footy Tom says is, there's a reason why Ten Hag is looking for Rasmus Højlund. He doesn't look for the clear and obvious, right? Rasmus Højlund is a player that it's going to be, it's probably going to bang in 15 goals this season if we get him. But if you look at firepower, if you have a number 11, if you have Mason Greenwood, you have different options from the wing as well. Garnacho banging goals. You might have a Anthony Dos Santos banging goals. You have a midfield, Mason Mount striking from the 6-yard box, Bruno striking in goals, and all of a sudden there you have goals. You know what I mean? So I get the system, and I understand why he wants Rasmus Højlund, right? Why would you pay 150, 180 million for I don't know, it's a marquee signing. I don't know if we're even going to get a what do you call him? Ozzy, oi. The Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I'm calling him Phantom of the Opera. Yeah?
I mean, the thing is with Højlund, isn't he rumored to be about 50, 60 million, something like that?
Yeah, but the thing is, you have Lee Cooperton, whatever his name is, sitting there. He was the recruitment director of Leeds, and he was the one, the condos for Harry Maguire. And guess where he's sitting right now? Atlanta. As soon as we came in, Manchester United here. Well, hang on, we originally wanted 45 million, but since you're Manchester United, I'm Lee. Hey, how about 80 million?
But we didn't see that for Mount, though. I know we've discussed enough about Mount, but the actual deal of it, there was 85 was the original value that was being sprouted about. And if it goes to 55, it just shows that we didn't bow down to it. And Murto maybe has got this one right.
No, but he has
stuck to his guns and said, do you know what? the window hasn't even opened yet.
But he wasn't Murtaugh, to be honest. It wasn't Murtaugh. He's actually Matt Hargreaves, the new chief negotiator.
Yeah, sorry, of course. Sorry, yeah.
But in the press today, they was trying to big up Murtaugh, like, you know, in Manchester Evening Post. Oh, look, Murtaugh saved the day. He's the hero. You know what I mean? But it was actually Matt Hargreaves that came in and negotiated.
Yeah, there's no coincidence. It was two weeks ago he joined us, and we're saying we're walking away from a deal, which is exactly what we should be doing. Look, there's our offer. Take it or leave it, because we've got other options. You know, Ten Hag started the ball rolling when we were still playing the season.
The thing is,
big players want to come to us.
You know, you have 55 grand in the pocket to spend, but you always want to save some money when you do budgeting. Like when I hire somebody, for instance, in the company, like I know I have 55,000 to offer in salary per month, but if I can get that person for 50
per month,
yeah,
can I work for you?
I was just going to say, Apple.
Can I have a job? I'll do it for half.
No, but as an example, like, all right, let's say 5,000 quid a month, right? So that is my salary budget, and when I try to recruit you in, I know. And that's why I'm asking you, like, you know, how much do you want in salary? You say, oh, okay, I'm cool with Are you cool with 4,500? You say, yeah, cool. Then at the end of the day, we saved ourselves money, so that 5,000 can be pushed for another recruit. That's how it works.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So we didn't really overpay. If we had a budget to set on 55, to be honest, we set 50 plus 5 add-ons at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, we met at the middle, because at the end of the day, we're paying 55 plus adding on 5 add-ons as KPIs, which is achievable performance indexes.
Yeah, I just want to chip in on Greenwood. I know we're finished and that ball is dead, but the thing with Greenwood, I think we could utilize him as a bargain chip in getting strikers this season, because it will be a win-win for all parties that he leave on a loan right now this summer and get a couple of seasons abroad. So, for example, if we buy Højlund, we can say, okay, here you go, 55 million, and we throw in Greenwood for 2 seasons free on the loan.
Yeah, and I'm just going to finish off this with Red or Dead. Like, if police could press charges or everything on the internet, we all behind bars.
I'd be dead. I would be.
You'd be dead, Nick.
I would be banged up.
Bang on. I love that.
That's what Jarvis just said. You know, I understand that, and I've kind of seen this, and I think that by doing that, what it does, it moves him away from being associated directly to the club, and it gives us longer to find out a bit more of what is actually gone on behind the scenes, because I fully understand Nick's passion behind what's being said, and I know that's at least 50% of the fan base, and I'm very much a case of if it's happened, then you've got to be well, you don't really want that sort of person associated with a club, but at the same time, and I know that people might laugh at what I'm about to say, but I remember years ago, before all this social media and recording phones and photos and everything, Phil Jones was accused of rape on the Christmas do. And eventually it was proved to be, apparently it was proved to not be true. And so what the point I'm making off that is, we do see things that think straight away, get rid, absolutely not. Yeah. And then it turns out reportedly to be innocent. Now, whether it is or isn't, we'll never know. I'm not slating Phil Jones or anything like that, but I'm just an example that I was thinking about earlier today. And I know we've seen the videos and things like that, Nick. So, you know, absolutely, and it turned your stomach the minute anybody who has heard it. But I think
we did. Sorry, Phil, just to jump in, we did only hear a snippet of it. Yeah. And again, when I totally get the point of you've got to put it into context. Was it much longer, and that was a snippet to make it sound like the worst
exactly
part? We don't know, and I get that we don't know, but I just think we need to be really careful.
But when you look at go on, sorry,
somebody said in the chat that the police can press charges without a complaining witness. They can. But it's going to be, they've got to weigh it up against, is it in the public's best interest in terms of how much is it going to cost, and are we likely to get a conviction? And if you've got the person saying, no, and then that person is pregnant as well, it's not in the public's best interests in the fact that there's not a complaining witness. So if it was something like murder, and I'm not saying that, you know, rape isn't as bad, but, you know, there are instances where the police won't press charges because there isn't enough evidence to support.
This is a serious discussion. We have to talk about it.
Sorry,
it's therapy.
No,
It's therapy. Because apparently also in Brazil, like, you know, Anthony dos Santos' ex-girlfriend that he split up over 1 year ago, come up with allegations as well. You know, over 1 year ago, he came over to Ajax, like, you know, and then he went on 100 million move and all of a sudden become this big star player. And funny enough, like 1 year later, she comes out and goes to police station in Brazil to press charges. So there's a lot of things. If you remember this Me Too movement, for instance, like, you know, that was very popular. Like people were pressing charges left, right, center. There was like a hashtag Me Too. And I'm speaking from personal relation, because I got done by it, to be honest. I'm speaking with open heart because I was alleged as well without even any evidence. Somebody said, well, he sexually assaulted somebody. And I was like, well, I didn't do that, you know. But instantly, like, you cast the first stone and I lost my job. But I won it in a court case, basically, because I was innocent. But I went through 6 months of hell in arbitration to prove my innocence, and that kind of smeared my name as well. You know what I mean? So it's a very dangerous game. This because it became very popular. Like, you know, you might have seen something, Nick, that I was giving a girl, like, you know, just like, hello, how are you, like a hug or something, and you go straight to the HR director and report this guy's hugging her, like sexual harassment. You could have been the friend of the friend reporting. You know what I mean? It became so ridiculous. I'm just putting out there. I was completely innocent. I fought that in law. I paid ridiculous amount of money for the lawyers, but I didn't mind because I knew deep inside my heart I was innocent. But it really crushed me, to be honest. And people around me couldn't believe that either. And when I asked about where's the evidence, they didn't want to give it. It was just pure, even if it was pure BS, they want to just get rid of you as a person, making up the allegations or not. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not being biased in certain sense, but I'm very, very concerned about evidence, right? Because I'm all about, like, do you have compelling evidence? Show it. If you don't, there's no case.
No.
So
But
I'm just
you
speaking
don't
from personal.
these days, Mick, though, to smear somebody's name, you don't even need evidence, you just need an accusation. And I wholeheartedly believe that women and men who make those allegations falsely,
but I ended up
name,
getting what do you call it? In Swedish we call it Jarvis skadestånd. Damages for reputation. I won it, and they have to pay out at the end of the day. So I was the winner. But the thing
you weren't, were you? Because you went through 6 months of hell. So again, it's not just about
it destroys your mental health. To be honest,
it does. And people who make those allegations falsely should be held accountable, and they should serve jail time, because quite easily it could have been the person that they accused going to jail for something that they didn't do.
But
so
it is serious.
It doesn't matter whether it's male or female. For me, you're making false allegations, and you found
and then
out.
You have this. Then you had this famous disinformation case with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. If you remember that as well. That turned out to be absolutely BS as well. So that's one of the case references you can take in, because they went all the way to court, and it was proven that she tampered with evidence, and she basically recorded and cut snippets. And you know, we know the story. So there's far more things that you got to take in consideration before you judge the person. You know what I mean?
I think for Greenwood to be able, I'll say his name. I know that we're allowed to, kind of. I think for him to come back to the club, there'd have to be some serious PR work done by the club in a way to be able to. They'd have to explain what's going on. They'd have to, you know, they'd have to. They couldn't just kind of bring him back to training and suddenly he's featured on Man United's website. Look who's back, sort of thing. You know, they're not going to play that sort of game. They know that whatever decision they make, it's got to be because they fully believe what has occurred, and they've got all the facts that we'll never see.
Yeah, well, I'm
And
going with Darren Scott here as well. False allegations ruins lives and careers. 100%. It ain't matter.
Yeah.
We're living in today's modern society with social media and everything. Even if you're innocent, you're still guilty. That's the point.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, you know, this is going to be discussed. This and any other similar situation. And there's always going to be two sides. And I'll put a very simple statement to you. Would the fan base be interested if it was a player who nobody really heard of that much?
Yeah. Interesting breaking news from Juddy Sports. The sales announcement will be outside New York Stock Exchange opening hours, according to Bloomberg. And this is what I've been always, I don't know, today.
That's the way it is always.
Yeah. That's what I've been saying because, you know, for everyone that's been waiting for some transfer news, just be cool and composed. Like, you know, we are as much as in the gray zone as fans all over the world, but there's only one thing going right now, and it's Full Sail, and it's going to Sheikh Yassim. When Bloomberg comes out and reporting, they have no dog in the fight. They are business related, right? That's the thing. And who's going to break it? It's going to be a Bloomberg, a business, obviously, or Al Jazeera, or a club statement, I think, as well. What's your thoughts and feeling around that? Nick, I haven't heard you regarding this takeover. What do you think?
You really don't want to ask my opinion on this. I think for the sake of not getting into a heated debate, and it will be a heated debate, I've made my feelings very, very clear on the takeover. I want Glazers out. I also have a viewpoint, and I think that probably in the interest of being friends with everybody and not getting political, I think I'll just say that I should probably not answer that question because I've had a drink and we really don't need to go there. I mean, we can have a discussion off air, but I'm also very aware that it's a very split camp. And people can be quite vile, and I've had very vile comments from people for my opinion. So I think I should probably, in the interest of having a nice Friday night and not letting it ruin the night, I should probably take the fifth on that.
Take a fifth,
Take the fifth.
Take a fifth.
All right, I'll change subject. De Gea. Keep on.
No, I'm just going to answer Jeff Buzz here. When is Alice coming on? Alice Talks Football. Yeah, I've been communicating with Alice, so we're planning to do something next week. Not sure which date it is. It will be. I proposed to her on Tuesday, so we will see. And no, I don't need Xanax. I'm pretty cool and composed. If you don't know me, right? So all good, all good. It's going to be interesting to see, right? Yeah, move on. Yeah.
So De Gea, keep or sell. I mean, at the end of the day, I know that he's rumored to be going, you know, on a free in about 45 minutes. Do you think we'll end up renewing his contract? And I mean, I think, you know, obviously the media is getting hold of this about the fact of he had agreed to a lower deal, and then they changed their mind after he'd agreed to it. Do you think there's any truth in that? Is it just paper talk? You'd love De Gea to come out and kind of go, nah, that's rubbish.
Are you asking me? I can answer this one.
Can you answer that one? Go on then, Nick. Over to you.
That one. Sorry, Jarvis. Do you want to go?
Yeah,
first?
no problem.
No.
Just go.
I think there's quite a lot of, I wouldn't say false rumours. I think there's a lot of stirring of the pot. I think people have got in the head that De Gea needs to go. I do think that he needs replacing. I said earlier in the season that I think to get rid of him now without cementing somebody else in would be a bit of a mistake, and I'd be tempted to give him another year. But I do think we need another keeper. I don't think he fits Ten Hag's style of play. I don't like the way that he basically just stays on his line. He doesn't command his box. He never has done for me. He's shaky when he does finally come out. And considering the game as it is at the moment, where the keeper can pretty much do no wrong. If he goes out to get that ball and gets knocked over trying to get the ball, it's automatically going to be a free kick for the keeper. So the fact that he's so scared to go out and challenge for those balls makes me really, really worried. And the fact that I love a sweeper keeper. So if Onana is a sweeper keeper, I'll take him all day long.
What's my name?
Onana.
What a save.
I'll take him.
Did you hear that? I made up this song, and then Then also Andy Tate started singing as well. Like, if you see my thumbnail, I came up with this, like, oh Nana, what a save. Oh Nana, yeah, that's my name. That's my name. I'd be damned if the whole United Old Trafford would start singing that if he's on. Like, then I know I invented the song. Oh, of course, it was Rihanna, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll just call you Mikana.
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 I know.
Oh, Nana. De Gea, 375 a week. City's keepers and 80K a week. I know. So obviously, you could speak about, like, yeah, that's not the way to treat De Gea. They offer him the contract, and the contract was there already back in April, March. He was hesitant to sign it, and my ears on the ground was saying clear and obvious. Even I had Anil Condola on from Talksport, and he said credible sources also told that his heart is not in it. He wants to go back to Spain, play in Spain. Obviously, he got a delivery of new daughter, new baby girl. Last year. His wife is not here. He wants to go and finish off his career in Spain. If he can walk up for free, it's not a shame. He can go and play anywhere in Spain. You know what I mean? And be close to the family.
Somebody said he's getting married this weekend.
Yeah, true as well. And if Onana comes, there's an opening. He can play in Inter for free. For free.
What do you think, Jarvis? Do you think De Gea should be replaced? As in, not. And I don't mean as number one, because I think he should go as number one. He needs to. His problem, his weakness now, or what was his strength has become his weakness. There was no challenge around him. So he was, he won Player of the Season for us 4 times. At times when we were absolutely desperate, and it is a bit rare for a goalkeeper to get that once, never mind 4 times. But I think the fact that the club were in dire straits at the time, and he did save us, and his shot stopping was fantastic. But all that's gone away and everything. Do you think he could still be a number 2 if he was willing to kind of fight for his place?
I don't think so. I think De Gea is a first choice goalkeeper. He should play at another club if he can't play first choice at United. And I feel at the moment everybody feels sorry for De Gea. He's getting married.
Yeah.
No. The thing is, here's the thing.
It's a joke, but everybody feels sorry for him because he's getting out of he not get his contract renewed. But we actually don't know what's going on
here's the thing.
inside the walls of Manchester United. But the thing is, I have a speculation on this. I wrote a tweet today, and I said my speculation is De Gea and Man United have reached an agreement to end the contract quietly.
Yeah.
But the club refrains from making like an official statement until a new goalkeeper is signed. So like we have a strong hand in negotiations. That's my theory on this. And you saw the tweet from De Gea. He pulled up a emoji with. So I think there's something else behind this. So I will wait until we know more.
The thing is, like, I can speak from what I've been hearing as well. But I don't know if Tom is still here in the chat room, journalist Tom as well. The thing is, they offered him on the conditions to say you're not going to be the number 1, but we offer you a pay cut 200. That contract was laying on his desk until he said, okay, I sign it. But in order for a contract to be valid, 2 parties needs to sign. So it's simple, like what DocuSign is, right? Electronical signing. I send it to your email. You sit there and wait, and you put, okay, digital signature. I sign it. Then it comes back to the command of change to sign it. And Erik ten Hag said, no, by the way, I changed my mind. We're going to lower down your even to 175. That also already indicates that I want a Nana or want another goalkeeper, but you are good to stay if you want to stay here, but for less salary. 175 being the number 2 goalkeeper. And he's probably thinking, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to go home. So big up, and I agree, we need to act like a big club. He's definitely a legend. I backed him. I backed him so many times. I love De Gea. But yet again, we cannot forget the fax machine, broken fax machine 2015, when he wanted to leave. So you have loyalties there, and he wanted to go back to Spain. So now his opportunity is there to go back, be with your family. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You got to look at the players as well, what he wants. That's the thing. Because family life matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being away from your loved ones is difficult, and having Skype conversations every day or WhatsApp conversations is not the same. It's not that you're going to get like holidays every now and then, especially if you're playing 2 games a week, right? When you're going to see your kid, newborn daughter.
Yeah.
So think about that, people, as well. What about Chelsea? What about the madness of Chelsea? What about the madhouse of Todd Bowley? What is he doing? There's only 2 players left of the Champions League winning squad. Did you know that? He got rid of everyone.
Chelsea is shit. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares about Chelsea?
I think Poch will make them get a tune out of them, and I think what he's doing is refining his squad, because one of the problems was last season they had so many players that they just didn't know what to do, where to play them. They couldn't concentrate and they couldn't focus what they wanted to develop within the team on them because there were so many of them. They couldn't set it to their tactics and things. And I think Poch has come in and gone, yeah, that's fine. I want this one, this one, and this one. That one, and that one can go. And we'll kind of see what we can add to it. But yeah, so yeah, I know what you're saying, that they had a terrible season. It was funny. It was great. It was great for us. But I just think that next season, you know, they've obviously let what's his face go to Arsenal. Kai Havertz gone to Arsenal, hasn't he? And obviously they letting them go to a rival in the league. You think, well, they're obviously confident in themselves, because you don't really see that very often. You don't see those players making those moves unless they're out of contract or whatever it was. And I don't think Havertz was.
Havertz. That's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? You know, he had him playing absolutely fantastically last season. Did Arteta, and they just fell short with a couple of injuries at the wrong time. I think we did as well, to be fair. I'm not just saying Arsenal.
Where's the money coming from, Big Lebowski? There's like 105 million for Rice. Then you're paying 45 million for a Jurien Timber. Then you paid like 65, 70 for Havertz. That's 3 players. Where's the rest coming from?
Is that it? Is that all the money spent? Is anybody else?
So far.
Is it get them all in? Because that's usual Arsenal style. Get them in and then get them to pre-season, which is what most clubs should do. You know, they've got
so basically one midfielder. Yeah, basically one midfielder. Xhaka is gone, right? So you have Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
Havertz is not a striker.
Party's linked at least, isn't he?
Party's going. All right. I want to address this the DJ Superfly guy. I love it. I think it's Motley Crue or something. I don't know, like a profile picture. But Jarvis, you're in charge of the moderators. You're the chief administrator of the moderators. So thank you for the lovely comment. I could say this is a channel top one, except for one power hungry. Sorry, guys, this is a realist TV. Like, you know, it's a channel allowing you to be you. Just this is the foundation of this channel. Don't be rude to each other. We are here to be real. I just want to be absolutely clear that there's no, you know, elitism on this channel. So just that is my stance on this channel. So I just want to say thank you for the comments. And guys in the VR room, you've been amazing. Just be cool, composed, and calm, and you know, don't be rude to each other on the chat room. Just giving it out there, because this is the foundation, the reason why I started this channel. And Phil Standish, you know this as well, right? Since I started with you.
Absolutely, that's the way it's been from the very beginning. It's always been about interacting with the VAR room, getting to know the fans who were in there, which is why we started off the top of the show asking about what you'd have for your tea and what you were drinking, because it is, you know, we want you to, you know, we could have 100 people chatting at once. It'd be great. And some, you know, the only way that we can do that is through the chat. We try to pick up on the comments that we feel are relevant. Sometimes we might click on something that we think we probably didn't want to really click on that, but at the same time, we want people to have their opinions. Yeah. And then we can give our feedback. And we have avoided the Greenwood conversation for a long time, as I think most people in social media have.
The thing is,
we've discussed it now.
This channel has grown with wildfire since you, Nick, came along as well. So the community is absolutely the best community I've seen. I've been on a lot of different channels. I've seen so many toxic environments, but at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm so proud of this community. I'm so proud of you, VR guys, because you made this channel, and we are growing. We surpassed 14,500 subscribers, so we are on the road for 15K. Like, if you asked me 2 months ago, we're on 10,000 subscribers. So you can see the explosive growth, and I'm so glad that you found this channel, because all what we're trying to do is be positive, like to spread a little bit of a positivity back into the football, be real, be therapy, allowing you to be you, basically, like, you know. You know, it's been far too long for this divide and conquer by the media and everything else. But we're going places. We came on board when Ten Hag came on board, pretty much with the wind of change. So big up to all of you. So be nice to each other, please. And when it comes to the takeover, you know, I keep saying all the time, you know, you can't see the forest from the tree. You know, you got to clear the fog to see the blue skies. You know, so if you're cool and composed, and don't stress and don't, you know, don't worry too much about it, and don't check your phone 100 million times per day, because that's not going to help your mental health at the end of the day. So that's why you see me so cool and composed, because my mentor told me, and trust me, that's a tough pill to swallow. You know, he always taught me this, that don't ever let your fear emotions clog your judgment. Always think fresh, think forward, don't look backwards. And this is what I've been doing, basically. Don't look back in anger, just look forward, and always fight fire with water and kindness. If somebody's rude to you, just don't bother, right? Pick your fights. That's just me speaking. It's Phil Standish show.
Back to the topics. Late to tonight's show, Andy. Welcome to the show. Apologies already been asked, but did you see the Qatar announcement being announced in the next 7 days? No, you'll have to give us more information on that, Andy. We have discussed it a little bit tonight, but not in too much detail. So, if you've got any quotes that you can share with us, drop them into the chat, and we'll bring them on and share them with everybody.
Do you want me to finish off? I did a video this afternoon, though, if people didn't watch it, like, because Athletic and everyone is coming back, like they're joining the gravy train now. They've been pulling the Ineos heavily, and scrutinizing the Sheikh Yassim and saying, you know, is it a real character? And now Athletic post, like, you know, who is Yassim and all that stuff. But the thing is that it is a multi-billion-dollar transaction, and you coming down to the transaction phase. So you got to look at Manchester United and how the Glazers run this operation. It will take years to untangle what they've done. So we owe a lot of money to creditors, and a lot of things are tied in bonds with Bank of America and everything. So I did a video. I tried to explain that there's two types of transactions, or actually three types of transactions that you need to do physical. One is, first of all, you need to pay off the debt to all the creditors, meaning all the bonds, you know, clear the debt, right? That's one transaction. There's one pot of cash that needs to go. Number two is then to pay up the Glazers, whatever they agreed on, you know, the premium price of the shareholders. It might be $38 per share. We don't know that, but there's speculation that is, you know. So that's one transaction. As soon as you've done that, you hold the keys to the kingdom. You don't have to have 100%. But what's going to take time, which is a sticky point, is the 31%, which is the retail share price. It's like you and me and everyone else. And that's what people are going to say, oh, well, why can't you do that? Well, it will take about 3 months to delist everything on New York Stock Exchange to actually go from private listed company to actually a club. And that would be like, that's a discussion for its own conversation, that they're going to agree on a fair price for the shareholders. Like, you know, if I hold shares, I bought it from 18, they might come and say, everyone that holds shares, we're going to buy out in 28 or 30, and that's it, and close shop. So that's the legality of it, and that's why it's taking a little bit of time. But if they struck a deal with the Glazers to buy 69%, they have done the directors of fitness operational tests, it's all good and done and dusted. It just holds on within the statement to come out to say, hey, we're in the driving seats right now. And that's kind of the reason why you also see that Glazers are not really bothered to release any funds to go in the transfer market. So the budgets that you're seeing right now, it's the pre-approved budgets that was back in November, December. That's for this year's transfer money already planned and allocated for. So at least we know that we have money to spend. Once the new owners come in, you're going to clear the FFP, all the debts will be cleared, and there's going to be new money injected to Ten Hag to go invest. So I'm just excited. I'm just thinking, what's going to be the Christmas present for the new owners? What do you guys reckon?
Over to you, Jarvis.
Yeah, I don't think it's Mbappe, as many has speculated about. Me, I think it's a new stadium. That's the present we are getting, because Old Trafford is falling apart. The roof is leaking. The toilets are flowing over with piss, and you know, it's not the fortress it used to be. You know, it was this bright and shining castle back in the 2000s, but now it's not good because we haven't done anything to it. So I think we need a new stadium, and we have the land right beside the Old Trafford, so we can build a dome, a ring with 120,000 seaters, and that will be a perfect gift for me.
Okay. Wicked. I'm just going to go with Juddy Sports because Juddy, I trust you, Juddy, as well. Transaction papers process confirmed by the Athletic. There you go. That's transaction papers. And the rest is just waiting for the announcement. That's what it is.
Whose transaction papers, though?
I mean, it's going to your bank account, what I heard.
I hope so.
There's been many kebabs to buy, Nick.
Well, I'll treat you all when it comes.
Remember, we're friends, Nick.
Yeah.
I live the closest.
Yeah, Nick, you have a question here. Nick, you said he's too young, didn't Ferry unleash gigs at 17, let the exuberance of youth let rip. That is the United where they're best. Certainly not now. Well,
what happened to Giggs later on? I mean, he's a fantastic footballer, but terrible human being, ends up beating his wife. I mean, the record speaks for itself. Yes, on the pitch he was fantastic, but actually, what did he turn out to be? I'll just leave that with you.
True. Okay, so final before we close the shop, Phil. I mean, we went around, like, you know, and I posted to the chat as well, like, you know, who would be the gift signing if you get new owners? Let's say if you're a Sheikh Yasim walking in, who do you think he will gift? Except Santa Claus and.
I think it just depends on who we've already got through the already, and depends how long it takes for the process to go through. If, for example, we haven't got Frankie de Jong and they deliver Frankie de Jong, they can say, there's that guy you wanted last season that you fought so hard for. There he is. That's the one you wanted. And it's not overspending because it's probably about 80 million now. It's still a lot of money, but, you know, it's in today's society and with the other figures that are going around, I'd love it to be Osimhen, but I don't want to pay 170 million for him. I think he will be absolutely perfect for us. And someone said much higher.
Why not an Osimhen? And okay, I shut up. I come back later.
I think, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if they're going to bring what you said, one present, you know, I think we just need someone who is going to be. I completely agree with what Jarvis is saying. You know, it goes without saying, whoever buys the club has to do a lot, not just on the pitch, but with the actual stadium, with the facilities. Everything just needs much more than a lick of paint, which is what they tried to do.
The old lady needs tender love and care. She's been neglected, right? When the Glazers took over, she was a beautiful young 18-year-old.
Going about Old Trafford, Nick.
Yeah.
I was just going to fucking say.
I could see you in the corner thinking,
is he
talking about me?
But listen to my rant here now. Listen to my rant. When the Glazers took her over, when they took her under the wings, they married her. She was beautiful, 17-year-old, young and sweet. And now, look at her now. They didn't even give her nothing. No tender love and care. Now she's some old bag lady with saggy tits and saggy bum. We need a facelift right now. And we need that tender love and care. You know what I mean? So I'm just excited. What are going to be? Are they going to just build around it? Are they going to stabilize it? Are they going to be able to build a new stadium? I don't know. It's a lot of questions that we need to ask. But if you ask me, if there was one gift, you know, if the new owners come to say, like, Erik ten Hag, who do you want? You know, why not be Giddy then? Like, if you're playing fantasy football, you know what I mean? To say, hey, if we get extra money, okay, forget about Kane. All right. Let Kane stay. I don't think Kane has the cojones to put his foot down and say he wants to leave. I think he will stay another year and then leave on a free, or be stitched up again with another 6-year contract and play for Spurs with no ambition in his whole life. But I think if that's the case, they go for the best that's available in the market. You know, if they have money, they'll probably go and get an Osimhen, and they'll probably go to Barcelona and say, hey, we buy you out the contract of Frankie de Jong, and that's it. Close shop. If that is a fantasy of mine. But that is my fantasy, though.
Just on that, Frankie, because I know it's getting really late and we probably need to close the show. But Frankie, did he not come out and say, you know, a few people are saying in the VAR room, did he not come out and say that he doesn't want to play for United, or was that just kind of so he could cement his place at Barca and appease the fans while he was there because he was staying?
I don't think Frankie has said anything. You know, he has
No.
kept his mouth silent, and you know, he can't say anything.
You
Even
can't
if
say
he
any-
wanted
you- if
to,
you-
even if he wanted to go to our club, he couldn't say anything because
It's breach
then
of contract. That's a breach of contract. You're not allowed to speak. You know, you can only say positive things. It's like a politician, like being a diplomat. You ask you ask one question, you respond the other question, and you spin it around. Same in press conference. So people asking Eric Ten Hag the stupid questions, he will just tell you, "I cannot comment."
Did you see Reece James on Twitter the other day though? It was absolutely brilliant. Somebody put a tweet out after they got it was an Arsenal fan got a bit excited with the when the Rice deal was looking like it was going to go through and Havertz had come, and they put Reece James who says no. Reece James replied saying nope. Oh, brilliant. He said, I say no. I thought, what a fantastic response that was. Why can't more players come out and just interact in that way with the fans?
Wolfie's coming. Let's go get Haaland.
Just drop the mic. It was just immense. Absolutely brilliant.
Drop the mic. I agree with Jason Wolfie here. Let's go get hijack Haaland. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it?
Before we finish off as well, serious allegations again, back on track, shitty city, cheating city again. Yesterday came out with a whistleblowing report that they had another sort of a broker to pay 300 million inflated in sponsors. That was supposed to be paid by a sponsor, but the broker paid it instead. And that's been time barred deliberately. But that's a separate allegation outside 115 charges. There surely has to be some repercussion from Premier League. They can't get away with it. They can't get away with it. You can't be above the law.
You know, someone said before about Edison only being on 80 million. And somebody made a joke about the fact of like, yeah, but how much are you really getting? And do you know what? You have to question it. Why are they playing for the biggest team in the league who are winning all the trophies on no wages, and any other club, even the likes of Everton who just survive, would probably offer more than that? You just think something's not right there. There's too many little. It's just not right.
There's something fishy. There's something fishy with that, because when you see, I keep saying that over and over again, like, you know, when they win a treble, right, and you have how much 200,000, 20,000 people rocking up to celebrate the treble, then you know you're a small club, right? When we won the treble, we were 500,000 celebrating, right? When you saw the Champions League final, most of the tourists that was there that bought the City shirts, right? You heard the crowds chanting. It was more Inter Milan fans. You couldn't hardly hear any City fans. So no wonder. So the invention of sports washing, that word, must come from Manchester City. That's the thing. So why would you go and play for City that has no? I mean, okay, do they play good football? Yes, they do. Yeah. Yes, they do. Do they have a great manager? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But you have to question the way you got to that point to play good football by cheating. You know, anyone that's like competing in bodybuilding or sprinting or whatever, any sports, Olympic sports, if you caught doping, cheating, you get stripped off your titles and medals and get suspended. Why is this something different? The allegations is clear right there, right in front of you. Now, unfortunately, we're living in a world right now that everything goes at the moment in politics, in journalism, everything. It's just, here's it, shut the fuck up, take it. No questions asked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to see action.
You're not going to see action. It's the FA, it's City who
are they paying? Are they paying the brown paper envelope?
Look, I mean, you've got so UEFA were time barred, and all of a sudden they couldn't use evidence that was stolen. Okay, fair enough. And then you've now got the FA looking at the charges, and Pep coming out and saying, why is it taking so long? Hurry up, just do it now. We'll prove that we're innocent. It's Manchester City's lawyers that are delaying everything. Maybe Pep needs to go to the lawyers and say, let's just get it over. Pep knows exactly. I mean, it's no coincidence that he was at Barcelona.
But money buys you the best lawyers in the world just to argue, like, put in a complaint, or what do you call it? A motion for dismissal, or what? You just lodge and kick the can further down the road. And that's what they did with the UEFA. They just ran it down for the time bar to be finished.
Well, all I'm going to say, and I'll just have my say on Qatar now then, is we're talking about sports washing. We've slagged City off. We've had a go at Newcastle. we're going to become the same thing, and that is all I'm saying on that point. So, you know, read into it what you will.
I don't
Well,
know. I don't think so. I mean,
I do. Well,
I understand.
we're all talking about
Yeah,
getting this money from Qatar. Give us all this money, and we're going to get these big name signings. Why we generate enough money to be able to buy big players anyway?
No, that's the point, Nick. That's the point. We don't need sports washing. That's the point. We just
So
need
why?
somebody.
So why are we getting state ownership? Apart from the fact that we want to get rid of the Glazers. No,
Okay.
I know you say it's not state ownership, but it actually is state ownership, because where did the money come from?
That's a discussion off the table, because it's not. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
exactly. This is why
the thing is, we're here to talk about it, and you know, the thing is, you got a point there. We don't need sports washing in certain sense that we have money of our own to be operated, but Glazers has been using the credit card for far too long. So if you look at the financial report, yes, we made operational profits, but our debts is over 776 million. You know, so if you clear that debt all of a sudden, you come in, you buy the club, you clear the debt, we can still live on operational spendings, because we are a huge, massive club, right? We don't need sports washing. That's the thing, right? And if you look at where is Old Trafford located in, Manchester, right? Where is this going to be played in? Manchester. Where are the owners from? Okay, they're from 92 Holdings, but they also lodged 92 Holdings LLC in British law. So they are bound by the British law as well. So,
well, you would think that City are bound by the British laws as well, but you know, that's
no, but we don't need to inflate our budgets. That's the thing. We don't need to inflate sponsorship. We're a huge enough club to generate sponsors.
I completely agree with you, Mick. Completely agree with you. And that's why I didn't get into the conversation, because
no, I'm just trying to provide nuance and contents, because I've been trying to explain this in numerous podcasts. Like, you know, I've been looking into this, and when you have a group of conglomerates, like in a group of companies, the former holding companies, that is like, you know, a number of companies, right? That is guarantee, like, you know, funds for, and Manchester United PLC will be part of that holding company as well. Of course, then it's located in Qatar. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. I get your point. But at the end of the day, we are huge enough, and all we need to do is to untangle the mess that the Glazers and Woodwards has done with the club, to clear that mess up, to actually build the money that we need right now is to build up the infrastructure that's been neglected, meaning that the training grounds, the training facilities, Old Trafford, as what you've been saying, the broken toilets, swimming, it's just a mess.
Did we not have the money to do that before?
They didn't even bother.
The Glazers took the money. They didn't bother.
They took them.
What they could have done, but they took the money.
They took the money.
Well, we'll have this discussion off air, mate.
Yeah, they have the money, but they took the money because they didn't give a shit about. To be honest, they only gave a shit about filling on the.
Jarvis wants to say something.
Yeah, I just want to say my biggest fear, if Qataris comes in, that we will become a new PSG. With a team of mercenaries, no soul, and overinflated wages and everything. We're a mess at the moment, but okay, we will probably be better with being like PSG. But even then, I would like us to keep our soul, and that's Man United. So. And no one knows what's going to happen if Qatar comes in. What are they going to do? Are they going to buy Mbappe and Neymar and everyone who's on the top shelf? Or are we going to let Ten Hag build his team and do his thing? So for me, but we know the Qataris, they want to do the best. They want to be the best in class. So let's see what's going to happen. But anything is better than the Glazers, to be fair.
Papi, big up to you. I send you just a link if you want to come in and say hey. Papi. Yeah, no, it's just like 137 likes, 13 more to go. Yes, to 150. Now, listen, at the end of the day, Nick, like everyone has opinions and everyone has feelings. And the same thing, the fan bases always have different divides. But I'm always here to sort of look at both sides of the story. At the end of the day, like, you know, the truth is always in the middle. And it's up to you to decide on what to believe, yeah? For me, it's always been Glazers out full sail only, and just turn the page, you know. And I think that if you compared Sir Jim Ratcliffe, what he wanted to do, that was Glazers 2.0, almost the same. It's just switch. If you're on a diet,
it's interesting though, isn't it? Because when you say you don't want Qatar, people think, oh, you want Jim Radcliffe. Never said that.
No.
Never said
I didn't
that.
say that. No, I was
No,
just
you didn't, Mick. But it's interesting that people jump straight to the, well, you must want these then. No.
But
you can not want one and not want the other as well. But I don't have any say at all. It's not going to stop me supporting United.
Manchester United. No, you're not going to walk away because you support the club, right? That's the thing.
I just have a preference.
Yeah. But what I've been doing all along is just comparing the two manifestos. You know what I mean? And
well, they're the only two in the running, so you have to, don't you?
Yeah, true. And at the end of the day, if somebody offers you to clear the debt, like, invest in the infrastructure, invest in the women's team for crying out loud, finally, and just make Manchester great again and back the manager and have a sporting vision to create the best in class. That's what we want to do, right? That's what I want to do.
I think it's really important that, Ten Hag's clearly come in with a blueprint, knowing exactly what it is, what he wants to do. He's set his stall out. He's made it clear how he's going to speak to people. And every one of the players who are playing for us right now respect him. And in every interview that they come out, you never hear a bad word about him whatsoever. I think one of the things that he's already started to do is give opportunities to those who are in the youth a little bit. Not as much as we've possibly seen in the past, but I think that's because we were he had a target and he thought we need to finish third. That was it. We just had to keep going with what we could. I think pre-season is going to be really interesting to see what he does, to see obviously who we bring in and who he takes with him from the youth. That's going to. But I think one of the things that always makes United great, that all the fans hold dear and go on about, is the fact of the youth development, the fact that we have got this in our history, and I think I can't remember the number. It's a big number of consecutive games played with a youth player in the team. In the starting lineup, and I think that long may that continue. What we do not want, whoever comes in to take over, is to, as you say, throw the money, have him, and what about all those who have just been part of the? And that was, I think that was partly my little bit of a fear when I see like the likes of 𝒖𝒊𝒄𝒌 and that just being sold like that. You think, hang on a minute, why are all these really good youth players just being sold now? 𝒖𝒊𝒄𝒌 and that, and you think. I almost want to get to pre-season and just see who he's going to take with him and what he's going to do with those players. And, you've still got Ahmad. What's going to happen to him? Is he going to go back to Sunderland?
I hope.
Is he going to go to Atlanta? He's going to go for United. So,
but this fire sale is way overdue, according to my opinion. This is something that Deadwood, what we were talking about, to be cleared out. We got rid of Phil Jones, thank God, and not get rid of because he's just contract was run out, and a lot of these Deadwood needs to go, to be honest. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see when it's a new dawn, turning the page and invest in the use and the thing is what we need to talk about. Next step is to what goes on above Erik ten Hag is the most important thing for the future of the club. Who are you going to appoint, right? Are you going to replace Murtaugh? Are you going to have because me and Jarvis, we talked about that. Ten Hag came in and he's appointed his own team and of analysis and all that stuff. But you also need to have the fluent communication between you, sporting director, and the CEO. Like you have in Ajax, you had an Overmars, you had a Van der Sar, you had Ten Hag as well. You know what I mean? So I'm very interested to see, because I understand if they come in, they will put in a chairman first above the CEO. And the chairman will be the spokesperson, like you see in Barcelona, the fan communicator that comes out and speaks to the fan. And that's what we've been crying out for. I want the club to communicate what's going on. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm personally crying out for. But at the end of the day, we need to look at that triangle, how important that is to have a successful club, right? So as an operation. Jarvis, do you understand what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I totally agree, Mick. I think you're right on point. And,
we saw that he just left Ajax as well, Van der Sar.
But I think we are building something. As I told you yesterday on the Nuruddin stream, we have done a lot with the analyst team. We have hired like 5 or 6 new guys. I saw pictures from the Barcelona game away. There were 8 analysts, people sitting there analyzing the game on the highest road on the Nou Camp during the game. And Ten Hag has implemented a more methodical way to see the game. So I think we are heading in the right direction. I hope that we give Ten Hag his tools to do this. And of course, when it comes to our sporting director and Arnold and everybody, I don't know if they are doing a good job or they are under the shackles of the Glazers. No one actually really knows. So let's see. The new owners have to make some tough decisions.
One thing is, like, I only want to see the best in class with the intention of the club, supporting Ten Hag to be a winning club, because Ten Hag wants to win. So everything needs to be married from the top to the bottom, not like now it was rotten from the core to the bottom until Ten Hag came in and fixed. So for me, like, when Ten Hag came in and what he achieved this season is remarkable, basically what he had to work with. And all the shit they had to deal with, Ronaldo situation, Maguire situation, Sancho's mental health issues, lots of injuries, and the guy is still finished third. So that is remarkable, right? So imagine now getting back properly with the proper vision and owners that believes in you. That's going to be a very, very interesting prospect, in my opinion. Yeah. Sorry, this got a little bit heavy now at the end of the day, like, I was hoping for Papi to come in to have a say. I shared the link, so he's got the link. So I'm just waiting for Power Hour to come in as well before we close the shop. Bring back Ralf Rangnick, the father of the open heart surgery, says Lillis United. 𝒂𝒐 𝒊𝒔𝒕. Very, very good. Look at Spurs ground, what they were saying.
Yeah, well, I'm not being funny. I do look at the ground, but I'd rather have the team playing that we did rather than just saying, look at our ground.
Listen, I'm gonna throw it back to you. If I had a dream signing, do you know who that would be?
Go on.
I know.
This guy.
What's up?
Guess. All the way from Boston, USA, Mr. Power Hour Papi. How are you, sir? Long time no seen.
Guys, I'm great. Here's why I want to share why I feel good. First of all, Money Mace is in the building. I want to just start setting the tone because, I know we're divided about how we feel about it. There's some people that are like, I'm whelmed, I'm underwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed. But the main thing is we, as the fans, have an opportunity to start setting the temperature of the room by being behind Mason Mount. He has a lot to prove, a lot of haters to prove wrong. He wants to bake and give people some humble pie. And I want to be one of those people that are behind him and saying, go ahead, Mason. This is the next chance for you to develop into the better player that we've seen you can possibly be. And now prove him wrong. Ten Hag is the right person to do that. We've seen him and how much of a miracle worker he is. He resuscitated Wan-Bissaka's career. He took Rashford to the next stratosphere in his career too. So what is he going to do with Mason Mount? I am so optimistic. The more I deep dive into what Mason Mount has to offer, every player has strengths and weaknesses, and I'm sure some of us are a little bit more familiar with one side or the other of his game because maybe we're not Chelsea, we don't watch Chelsea games like that. But the main thing is Mason Mount, I believe he's a raw talent that Ten Hag is going to maybe make world class.
Papi, love your energy, Ryan. I missed you. So Mason will bring a lot of amount.
And I hope that will mean he'll mount us into the Champions League spots again and help us progress more, And I mean, I that's the main thing that I want to make sure that I flag. But I was listening to you guys before coming on, and I was also to be honest, Phil, I heard you talking about this. I was concerned about how we're moving with these kids. Imagine if the Zidane Iqbal situation becomes a Pogba situation all over again. Zidane Iqbal becomes a top baller. We fall in love with him and we buy him back. And then it's like, you know what I mean? It's like we're not learning from our mistakes. And I'm wondering if at all we need Ten Hag is having a little bit too much power. or not enough power? Or how do you guys feel about this? Because at the end of the day, when we're recruiting, we need to be behind the manager, but we also have to have a long-term vision for the club that's also a little bit beyond that particular manager. Nothing against Ten Hag, love Ten Hag. We want the project to work, but we also want to have a little bit of a longevity thinking too, as well. I don't know how you guys feel about what
I'm with you in terms of the concerns, but which is what I was saying. I don't know if you caught that part of what I was saying, but I think one of the things is that they have put buyback clauses in, which we didn't do for Pogba and stuff like that, and sell on fees and stuff. So we've got the opportunity to bring them back. And what we've actually done is we've actually put a caring arm around them and said, look, you're not going to get in the squad. You're at the age now where you can go out, you can make something for yourself. And if you want to come back in the future and you make something big, and we will try to have the door open for you at that time, even when you're ready, sort of thing. And I think that's the difference. We're not just going, yeah, go on. We're not. We'll keep you here. We'll keep you here. We'll keep you here. We'll keep you here. We'll keep you here for years, like we did with Andreas Pereira. Poor guy, you know. Once he was let go, he became the player he could be because he was given the freedom. He was able to play in the first team. And I'm not saying he's fantastic. He could have got in the United squad, but he played really well for Fulham, and he did make a difference for them. And I think letting the players go is what Fergie always used to say. If we can't get them in the squad here, we want to give them a career, give them a future. And that is what the club's about. Right. So actually, I think he's bringing back what Fergie embedded into the squad.
Right. We have 4 minutes left. If you know, you know. That means in 4 minutes, De Gea is a free agent. He's a free agent. So, Johnny, holy crap. Guys, have we managed to hit 150 likes as of yet?
I think we missed five more likes.
5 more likes, people. It's free. If you're on diet, this will help you burn extra calories. It's free. Just reach out there. It's called passive burning, right? Just press it. It works. It adds on to your calorie deficit, to be honest. Papi, as usual, I missed you. How was your puppy hour today? Happy hour.
Oh, the happy hour was very happy. We spent a lot of time analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of Mason Mount, and that's why I like. The more I learn, he really, really brings a unique skill set to our midfield. 96th percentile in tackles, won in the final third of the pitch, and he, it's one of those things where I am wondering, like many others, like where are we actually going to be? How are we going to be playing? Are we still going to be continuing the whole quick counter-attack, ball where it's a mid-block situation, but we're trying to get our goals really quickly? Or are we actually going to try and move the defensive line a little higher and pin the opponent in the half? So Mason Mount feels like he's good in transitional play, but he can also be a good asset in helping us really, really play that 70% possession type of football. So I'm learning a lot about the kid, and honestly, I'm by the hour, I'm getting more and more excited, and I want to be one of those people by the power hour, and I want to be just as fans, as the Man United family, we can do that. Let's be behind them.
Since you're the last one that came in, how are you on the Onana train? Onana, what's your name?
Onana. So okay, Onana was, for me, the goalkeeping position was not as much of a priority as before, but given how the club has treated David De Gea, I feel like let's put everything aside. If you treated me the way David De Gea treated me,
I would never treat you like that.
You know what I mean? That I would, it's one of those things where I feel like the club, like maybe there's some dishonesty going on. Ten Hag, if he likes the guy, he's told us he likes the guy, he wants to keep the guy. Let's be honest and actually go all the way with the organizational structure and actually like the guy and not retract a contract that he has already signed. That's not cool. So for me, if somebody ever did that, a landlord, whatever, I'm moving out. I'm packing my bags. I'm going. Manny, like this is the worst way. Human beings and Manchester United has to learn how to treat the human beings better. Like from Jesse Lingard, if you listen to that interview, to Rio Ferdinand, we've just been horrible. with how we treat our
yeah.
our family, and we need to improve on that. So David De Gea, now I feel like because he's about to leave, we really need Onana more than ever. So yeah, I'm on the Onana train.
Final question: you want a goalkeeper that is good with the ball, or good on the balls, or not good on the balls?
Whoa, pause. I like. Oh my goodness! I'm not even gonna finish what I was gonna say.
That's what she said. That's what she said, right? She's good on the ball.
No.
She wants something that is good with the balls.
Like goalkeepers are like an app. You have to update. You have to update and get the latest version. Otherwise, we're debugging and and there's gonna be things that don't. The old firmware does not work in this year. So we have to just say, David De Gea, you got the Golden Glove. Let's leave on a high, and we'll just say bye.
Okay.
It's exactly Phil.
Are we
Thank
voluntarily
you.
close now? So we defined that you want something that's good with the balls. That's what she said. Yeah, and we on 150 likes, aren't we?
Yes.
Time to go.
Thank you, people. It's been an amazing stream. It's been fantastic. Phil Standish, this is your show, so I'll let you finish, to be honest.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone. It's been a long 2 hours, but it's been a great 2 hours. It's felt like not like 2 hours at all. I don't know where it's just gone. So thank you, everyone, for sticking with us to the end, because it's great. We see your interactions. We try to bring up as many as possible. We see you all having a laugh amongst yourselves. Great, Poppy, for joining us. Thank you. Always bringing the energy.
Final energy. The final sprint.
I'm full of energy, but I'm sat at midnight right below my son's room, and I'm not allowed to bring that much energy.
You know what it is, Phil Standish? Standish, you know what it is? We've been running this marathon, this relay, like with the stick, right? We four of us, and the final end comes Papi sprinting. He sprints in with the final 100 meters with the sprint and scores a home run. Touchdown, Papi.
It's like the hare and the tortoise. She's just been like that all the way through, and then just pips us to the post. No, it's been a great show, Jarvis. Appreciate you, obviously, as always, and Nick, thank you for coming back. It was great to have you back on the show. Hopefully, we're not
Nick,
your time.
What's your drinking, rosé or
pp� lasted, and I hope it's washed down your kebab nicely, which is good. So yeah, the transfer window is officially open.
Woohoo!
And I think what a way to close the show on that statement. It's been a pleasure, guys. Fantastic. Can't wait to see you all again. And
Thank you for everyone that's been tuning in. It's been Midnight Wise 2 hour stream. Nick, always, it's been a hot minute. Looking forward to have you back on. People loved you in the comments. VR room, smash a like for Nick as well. Listen, guys, what do we say? We had our say, and we'll give you back today, right? Peace, love, and go bananas. Right? Guys, it's been Mick Ruby, Phil, Nick, Man United Nick. They can find you on Twitter, right? If not, don't stalk her anyway. She's very, very.
Yeah.
Nick, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at 𝑀anUNic. And it's how it's spelled on the screen. I can't be asked spelled. There you go.
Man Unique. Okay. Papi, they know where to find you. Always. Right?
Mufc Realist TV. That's where you can find me.
Guys, listen, fantastic. Be nice to each other in the socials as per usual. As what we say, peace, love, and banana. It's been an absolutely smashing podcast today. Thank you, Phil, for having for letting me just chill and relax, and Monday is Jarvis Corner, so hopefully he picked up a few tricks here and there. So I'm looking forward for you, Jarvis, to lead the fields, and Nick can take a little bit of a backseat approach. Papi, I hope to see you again soon, and 100%. Yeah, we missed your energy, my friend. Listen, guys, please go to sleep and don't let the bed bikes bite. All right. Cheers, guys. Peace, love, bananas. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all
Mason
for
Mount
sharing.
is in the building.
Mason Mount. Yeah. Bye for now. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.